Napa Valley is in almost every sense of symbolism as American of a story as it gets. A westward outpost defined by a fertile landscape. An untouched land of possibilities to those seeking to start anew. The people that came, what they brought with them, set the precedent for a timeline of individuals and families alike who chose to use the resources available to them and nurture the land to its highest and best use. It is a story of rebirth, an entrepreneurial spirit, and Napa, to this day, continues to attract nomads hoping to finally settle in and perfect a craft that's often not appreciated elsewhere in the country. Napa County runs from American Canyon northward to Calistoga, with each town in its famed valley connected by its two arteries, the St. Helena Highway and Silverado Trail. Towards its southern end is the largest town that bears the county's name. Napa Town is often glanced over, seldom appreciated by passerbys. So this is what the tour is really about, isn't it? It's just walking in drunk.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Hey, people come to Napa for fun.
Yeah, exactly.
What's more fun than getting drunk and looking at art?
Another excuse to drink.
Right, exactly. Oh, and a fun way to drink.
Yeah.
You're walking.
Public intoxication and artwork really go hand in hand. Kim McGinnis is the essence of Napa. Michigander born, Texas bred, wandering everywhere in between until finding a home in Napa. Once here, she formed a walking tour company dedicated to showing a side of Napa not many would imagine existed. The Rail Arts District, or RAD for short, is the brainchild of local artists and businesses working together to create something decidedly not pretentious in a county that can sometimes cater too much to luxury. Kim's Paper Napkin tour gives you a glimpse into that reinvigorated symbiosis that's created between the expressions of these artists and the small businesses that look to liquor you up while you gaze admirably at 2 miles worth of murals and sculptures. I see a beer.
All right.
Cheers to this.
Cheers to that.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good one.
That's pretty proper.
Turns out winemakers know how to make beer too.
You would have never thought. You would have never
Good second hand.
What does this concept mean for the city of Napa and for the county of Napa?
Well, to the city of Napa, it really highlights how it's more than just wine. You kind of have a vision of Napa, California, and really think of chateaus high up in Up Valley. But there's really more than that. There's something that's a little bit more accessible to the rest of us.
So do you see a change in demographics in terms of who's coming, who's visiting? Is it a younger crowd? Does it continue to stay the same? Or is there a changing sort of age range coming to Napa Valley?
You know, Napa's always attracted a lot of high-end, well-to-do people, but what you see in Napa is that there's a lot of development in the city itself, and so you're going to see a lot that attracts more people than just someone that's really here to spend a lot of money on some really good wine.
You truly believe in your heart of hearts that Napa is going to become an art destination in the future?
I think so. Also, what you see in the community is that there's strong support here from the community. You also have a lot of funding, and you have a vision for it to be an art destination. So you have those three things, it's bound to happen.
How does it feel like to be a small business owner in Napa County? Do you feel like there's pressure from larger tours, larger businesses, or do you feel like there's a real legitimate niche market that you can take advantage of as a small business owner?
Obviously, there's pressure from competition. I mean, we're in the top destination, one of the top 10 destinations in the U.S. So there are tour companies more established, but I do find that there is a special niche that I'm trying to create here, and that's really focusing around downtown Napa. I really want it to feel like you called up your friend that lives here, and I said, hey, let me go show you some cool things around town.
Like all your friends that call you.
Right, exactly. That's
now
really how it started.
Now that they know you live in Napa Valley.
Now that I live in Napa Valley, all these people showed up at my doorstep.
Hey!
So
I didn't even know I had a cousin.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It is not surprising that this is the birthplace of the most audacious attempt to challenge millennia worth of tradition and pretension of an age-old beverage. The impossible idea that a nation of hot dog eaters, that a new world soil could meticulously produce an array of wines that contend with the very highest of European pedigree. The blasphemous achievement that is Napa's success. It is that sort of quest for perfection that attracts people like Chef Nash Cognetti, a Pennsylvania transplant enamored by the Golden State after college, drawn into the kitchen by the freshness of the ingredients and the desire to perfect a newfound craft. A craft that he's ultimately perfected in Napa since 2005 at Vigne Restaurant in St. Helena.
And what do we have here?
This is pizza from our wood-fired oven. So we do classic wood-fired pizzas, but we do them with a sourdough crust.
Oh, Jesus.
And
Wow.
So it's a 3-day process to make our crust, and this is pizza alla romana.
However delightful the pizza is, there is a diabolically sinful dish conjured up by Nash himself. A gratifying food porn for all cheese aficionados. So there's one thing that you guys do here that's, let's say, just out of the ordinary, completely different. And that's the mozzarellas.
So mozzarella made to order, or mozzarella al minuto, as we call it, started because before I was here, I lived and worked in Italy. I came back, and I was not thrilled with the quality of the mozzarella cheese that we got in the United States of America. So we started making our own mozzarella. When I first tasted it, 10 seconds after I made it, it was still warm and seepy in the middle. And I thought to myself, this is one of the best things that's coming out of my kitchen. So I said, okay, we'll start making mozzarella cheese to order.
Nash, why Napa Valley? What brought you here?
Before this, I lived in San Francisco, and I kind of wanted a place where I could have a yard, have a garden, but without sacrificing the ability to work in phenomenal restaurants.
What's the main difference between Napa in the mid-2000s versus Napa right now on the eve of 2020?
I've seen a major shift from the classical fine dining white tablecloth restaurants to restaurants that are a little bit more approachable, but without sacrificing the quality of ingredients or the care of preparation.
So you're saying that Napa Valley now is more accessible, I guess. It's more for everyone versus, you know, the old money Napa of the past.
You see everybody here. You see honeymooners, you see people that have been coming here for years, and people that are here for their first time.
What does this pizzeria mean in the greater context of Napa Valley?
There's not a lot of places where you can get food that is prepared with this amount of quality and care for reasonable prices. It worked great for everybody, whether you own the winery, you work at the winery, you pick the grapes. Our main clientele is locals. This is where locals come to eat.
There are many parts of this country that have unspeakable beauty. Rivers, purple mountains, amber waves of grain. To be a bird in the sky hovering over Napa Valley is to witness such silencing beauty. If you're willing to wake up at an ungodly and currently frigid hour, you get rewarded with a sunrise in the clouds. Suddenly, and ironically, every ridge, every row of grapevine seems that much more detailed. A landscape carefully carved into a valley, dotted by silhouettes of trees, hash marks of crops, and the homes of those fortunate enough to live here. By now, you get the sense that to me, Napa is more than just wine. Though all unique in their own way, wineries here, unsurprisingly, are a dime a dozen. But there is one that is a personal favorite of mine. And maybe, just maybe, you can picture why. How much of who we become is based off of where we've been? If one's life is ever changing, inherently nomadic, is the concept of home simply transient? Why do you stay in Napa?
Why do I stay? I've lived all around. I've lived in big cities, I've lived in small cities, and I just love the Napa community here.
Honestly, it's real here. Behind all of the bouginess and the small boutique-y $500 bottles of wine, there's a lot of real people that live here in Napa Valley.
Home for those who trek to this side of California was found where the mind shined brightest. In between the ridges of the heart, above the unrest of a wayfaring soul, heard through the grapevines of Napa Valley.